Okay, historical figures, people, and fictional characters who have influenced me. First, Malcolm X. I didn't agree with everything he had to say, but he spoke about black people being self-reliant and independent and defending themselves in a way that helped me understand that there was nothing wrong with being black. I had a lot of identity issues growing up, and he really helped me in the sense that he talked about the way the world really was, just like James Baldwin did so eloquently. James Baldwin was not, he was an author, but he was not a black separatist. He definitely had some different views from Malcolm X, and so do I as well. But I like the fact that Malcolm X talked about black people standing up to violence and defending themselves. A lot of people believe that Malcolm X was all about hate and racism and hurting people. Not really true. Malcolm X was a Muslim, and Muslims believe that you should not seek violence, but if someone attacks you, you should defend yourself. And this was during a time when a lot of white people were, not most or all, but a lot of white people were killing, shooting, lynching black men, black women, burning black churches, children being killed. An idea that a black Muslim would stand up and say that we should learn how to defend ourselves and fight back seemed radical to a lot of white people during that time. And to me, it just seemed like common sense for anybody, no matter what color your skin is. Stand up for yourself, and stopping somebody from hurting you just seems quite fundamental to me. A lot of people said that he was a racist, and I find that interesting because in order to be a racist, you have to be a part of a group that has a significant amount of power and control over resources. And a lot of people have mistaken, first of all, the idea of hatred, the idea of prejudice and racism. You can be prejudiced and hateful and bigoted without actually being racist, because racism implies a certain amount of power, a certain amount of the ability to really impact other people's lives. For example, a black man can hate white people, but so what if he can impact the economic situation of white people? I mean, so that's really how I view racism and prejudice. They're not necessarily the same thing. Do I think Malcolm X was racist? Not really. No, prejudice. Do I think Malcolm X was prejudiced? Well, I think we all have our own experiences, and we're prejudiced by our own experiences, our own viewpoint. But do I think he wanted white people to die? No. Maybe the white people who tried to kill us, yeah, he probably wanted them to die because he wanted to defend black people, but was he some lunatic going out looking for blood? No. You can be impacted and influenced by people without actually agreeing with every single thing they have to say. Audrey Hepburn, yeah, big change there. Audrey Hepburn, one of the greatest actresses in American history, and I think she projected a quiet strength and elegance and intelligence and beauty that I haven't seen anything like it. I haven't seen anything like it. She could be so powerful in the most subtle ways. I really respect her work. The film Sabrina, of course, Breakfast at Tiffany's, which is her most famous film. War and Peace, and of course my favorite one, Roman Holiday. My favorite one is actually The Children's Hour, which is probably one of the most powerful films I've ever seen. It's, I love tragic love stories. What can I say? Oddly enough, Chuck Norris's Walker, Texas Ranger. Yeah, that sounds a bit strange. This character was supposedly one of the most violent characters on television. But I liked the character's integrity. I like his pursuit for justice. And that's part of the reason why righting the wrongs is so important to me today. Should television shows have this much influence over people? Probably not. But I still remember that show, and I think it had a positive impact on me. A person in the real world, one of my teachers, Mr. Teague, is a black man. I think it was actually Black Irish. I'm not quite sure. Mr. Teague, like Lee, but Teague. He was a math teacher. He was pretty strict. And it's hard to really put my finger on it, but he was one of the few black teachers, black men I actually saw in high school. And just him being there, just being the man that he was, he was so consistent, and he had such high standards. Definitely showed me that black men could be different from the type of black men that I was exposed to before him. So that obviously had an impact on me. So I want to know, who are some of the people who had an impact on you? Fictional characters, real people, historical figures. Tell me who impacted your worldview. Alright. The Cosby Show, which exposed me to the type of black family I wish I was exposed to in my youth. Batman the Animated Series, which showed that the truth always matters, even if it comes with some pretty cheesy characters. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which made it okay to be green and weird. Michael Jordan, who showed me that striving to be better than everybody else could actually be a virtue. Ross Perot, for proving that if tested, the American people will definitely not vote third party, and they're probably more interested in personality than any real substance.